Greetings, and allow me to introduce myself a little bit. My name is Đoàn Quốc, and I'm currently a sophomore learning at Thắng University. My major is English, and I'm a part of the Faculty of Foreign Languages. My hobby is learning languages and building plastic model kits. I have spent about 8 or 9 years just to learn languages, and recently I have started to learn two new languages, which is Japanese and Chinese. But I'm still really not good at those because they are so different from the languages that I'm used to, like English. But I'm still learning. And the second hobby of mine is building plastic model kits, just like I said. I'm a fanatic of those. You can see one right in the background there. And I'm so addicted to these things that I spend as much time building these things as I was learning languages. Here is my latest creation. It's called the Judge. It looks pretty cool, right? And pretty heavy too. And I guess that is as for my introduction, because I like to keep it short. And let us move on to the main attraction, which is the story that I'm about to tell. This story hit me really deep because it talks about a personality that I lacked years ago. The story is about Thomas Edison, one of the greatest scientists to ever exist. And the theme of the story is about self-confidence. Many of you might not know this, but he is geniuses, and when he was a young age, he was thought to be retarded by his teachers since he was obsessed with conducting strange and crazy experiments. But he had never once care about anyone's opinion about him because he had confidence in whatever he's doing. However, in one fateful day, he accidentally harmed one of his friends for the first time, and he was rebuked. And therefore, his self-confidence was shattered since. He no longer has trust in his doing and subconsciously thought that he was an idiot. A few months later, he received a close letter from the principal and was asked to hand it to his mother. After reading the letter, his mother smiled gently and told him that the principal said that he was actually a genius and the school was just too small for him, and therefore they requested her to raise him at home instead. Upon hearing those admirable words for the first time in his life, his will and confidence regained once again. And what happened next? Well, you already know. He went on to become one of the most famous scientists to ever exist in the 19th century, making countless contributions to the world of science. Pretty good so far, isn't it? But what if I tell you that this story can be better, because there's a twist. One day, when he was searching for some old document, he came across this letter, which is the same letter that his mom read to him years ago. And the content of the letter was never like what his mom told him. Instead, it said that he was mentally weak and feeble-minded and was expelled from school. That moment, he realized that he was indeed mentally weak, but his mother raised him in a way that he believed himself to be a genius, and he went on to be a genius. That really shows how much impact your self-confidence has on yourself. Then that is the end of the story. We can see that if his mother hadn't altered the content of the letter and raised him differently, would he still become the scientist as we know today? I certainly do not think so. Self-confidence plays a significant role in our life. It is a driving force of our will to act. Without self-confidence, we cannot achieve everything. When you lose your confidence, you lose yourself, just like Edison did when he unintentionally harmed his friend for the first time. Now, I would like you to travel back in time a little bit and think. Have you ever once thought that you were not good enough, feeble-minded? If you do, please stop, because you will live on with that belief and one day become just like that. Instead, think differently. Maybe by doing so, you can achieve something big, just like Edison once believed himself to be a genius, and then he did become a genius. Thank you for listening.